Hello, everybody. It's Noura Bishay, and we're coming again with the ADU show and episode 15 with the amazing architect, Liz Carmel. And welcome, Liz. Has 30 years of experience in architecture. She has 7 awards, including the She Makes History Award. And she's the owner and founder of EcoHouse. We're so proud to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Nora. Really appreciate it and love speaking with you.
Thank you. So today we are going to just chat with you a little bit about like architecture and business and everything. So tell us how you started and tell us more about yourself.
Sure. As you said, I'm Elizabeth Carmichael. I am a California licensed architect, founder of EcoHouse, which is a firm dedicated to pioneering ecological, responsible architecture and development. And my journey into sustainable architecture really began with a passion for creating spaces that can minimize environmental impact while also maximizing benefits for occupants and the community and the planet. I had a very nomadic upbringing and lived in different states. It really taught me adaptability and resilience, which their qualities have been crucial in my career and qualities that sustainability needs as well. Eco House, I started with the vision of integrating sustainability into every aspect of design. And yeah, we focus on mixed use and multifamily projects.
Wow. Can you speak a little bit more about what type of projects are you doing right now and like how big of scale are they? How many units?
Sure. We have a pretty diverse portfolio, mostly multifamily developments, some commercial projects, custom single family homes, affordable housing, and then we do the accessory dwelling units, but in a more multifamily way. So we look for opportunities to leverage like the city regulations to our advantage so that it enables us to increase the unit density beyond what's prescribed in the base zoning. So our projects have a spectrum from the compact ADUs designed to expand housing options to expansive multifamily buildings that incorporate eco-friendly features and communal spaces. And so anywhere on our low end is maybe 4 units up to 50 units and beyond.
Which one is your favorite project and can you tell us more about it?
One of my favorite projects is up in Carlsbad that we're working on. It's a development, it's mixed use, has commercial on the first floor and then multifamily residential above. It does incorporate ADUs to provide additional housing units. And it not only met like the needs of the community by offering affordable housing options, but also we're going to set a benchmark for sustainable design in the area. We integrated biophilic design elements. There's a planter, a lot of planters on every single unit's outdoor space, their balcony. We have a common space that is also filled with trees and plants and brings the nature right into the heart of the building. So those kind of spaces promote social interaction and being. And it's basically how you can have a deep understanding of the regulatory landscape, but also create vibrant, sustainable living environments.
Wow. I can't wait to see it. Is it done already?
No, we're in entitlement process right now.
Okay, we're looking forward to come and take a show on site.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Can you explain the different types of design firm? I know there is design build, there is the architect, there is the design firm and drafting like NPB Design Studio. Can you explain how each one work differently?
Sure. Okay. So design build firms, they handle both the design and the construction aspect of the project. They sometimes it's a streamlined process where you're only dealing with one entity, right? You're just dealing with, and they're mainly builders typically, but they're responsible for creating the design, carrying out the construction, and have a good coordination. Sometimes it's faster for project completion with a design build firm. Architecture firms like ourselves, these we focus primarily on the design aspect of a project, although we do construction management and construction administration, but we're working with a contractor in versus being the contractor. We create the designs, the detailed plans and specs, and then we hand it over to a construction company to execute and to build. We tend to emphasize better design quality, better functionality. We know compliance with regulatory requirements extremely deep. And then the design and drafting firms. So these firms can provide design and drafting services to create design of your project as well as detailed drawings and plans based on the client's requirements. Now, and in this case, the client could be a homeowner, a business, or they may be architects providing technical documents, by the architects.
Perfect. So what would be the pros and cons for hiring a separate architect or designer versus hiring a design and build company?
I think because architecture firms and design firms are mostly focused on the design of the project, producing detailed technical documents, you get a better quality, you get a better sense of aesthetics, whereas design build firms are tend to be more focused on the dollars and cents of it. And now, while architect and design firms have to have budget and constructability in mind, there still is an overall umbrella of wanting to put out the best design possible versus just a as quick as you can go house that a design build firm would do.
Yeah, in my opinion, there is an element of the architect and the designer always are like your l- defender in front of your contractor.
This too.
And you lose that when you hire a design build company.
Right. And I always tell clients that sometimes they want me to recommend a contractor, but I really want them to do the vetting of the contractor because I want to be in their corner. When things arise during construction, which they always will, you want to know that someone is defending the original intent of the project, and that would be us.
Yes, for sure. So remember that you always need someone in your corner, and your architect or designer has your back. So
Totally agree.
we've worked on feasibility studies for lots that are in San Diego that can have 300 units and up to 10 stories. Can you tell us more about like that opportunity? If we have a developer that is hearing us right now and wants to do something like 300 units, how can we start? Where can we start? What's the story around it?
Sure. So, you and I have worked together on looking at properties that are on the market in San Diego and what can be done with them with the new regulations. That's why we do these feasibility studies, because especially once you get to 300 units, it's essential for assessing site viability, zoning regulations, infrastructure capacity. These kind of studies help us identify these optimal land use And how can we maximize the density through incentives like Complete Communities here in San Diego, which is transit oriented development, like the ADUs, which can also bring density bonuses to the property. And we can explore similar properties for these developers on the market and then identify new development opportunities that align with these findings and align with their pro forma and what they're looking to do.
Awesome. So there's a lot of opportunity with the law changing and the zoning being updated with density, higher density, because we need housing. So it's not something that is lightly. We are taking it very serious that we want to add as many housing units as possible. So if you're a developer and you need housing, call us. Liz and Noura.
Yeah, this
um,
has been my forte for 20 years now, has been working with developers, working on infill housing is what we call it. And years ago, a lot of these properties could not pencil because we're on small urban lots, and the requirement before for parking made the projects impossible. Now with the transit oriented zoning, we can lighten the parking or even provide zero parking so that one, we're looking for to meet the climate action plan requirements and goals, and that we need to reduce transportation. We need to reduce the cars on the street. So we're building transit oriented projects, but also have their own transit amenities like bicycle rooms, electric bike chargers, wayfinding signs that can tell you how far you are to amenities in your own neighborhood that you don't need a car to get to.
Perfect. Yeah, it's like the laws has changed. Let's do it. Let's implement it. I'm like I'm eager
Yeah.
to add as many units as possible. Uh,
And you think about it, if we had, because a lot of people are scared of, well, how do I live without a car? But things have become so easy to live without a car these days. And on top of it, it's healthier for you to not have a car, to walk and to bike to places you need to go to. The city has improved the bike lanes all across the city. So there's city trails, there's signs telling you which way the bike routes are. And if we're bringing in all of these people who technically are naturally already here, but are in cramped housing, are living with relatives when they want to have their own apartment or their own space, if we all used our own individual cars for transportation, we would just have a traffic nightmare. And we want to prevent that.
yes, for sure. One of the benefits of building a multi-family unit right now is adding a density bonuses. Could you speak a little bit more about like how would density bonus affect homeowners that have multi-family, but they actually have a single family on it? I go to them and they are assuming they have a single family and that they can add one unit, and then I check the place and the zoning and everything, and I found out like this client that we just had wanted one ADU, and then it came out to 11 units. So can you explain more like the density bonus and how it can play a different role in the number of units that you can get?
Sure. Multifamily in general offers several significant benefits, particularly when leveraging these density bonuses. So, what they do is they allow property owners, developers to build more units than typically permitted under current zoning laws, but in exchange for providing affordable housing and other community benefits as well are required. This will increase the supply of housing, as you said, but It also promotes a diverse and more inclusive community because in lieu of kind of the old urban planning, which was to have what I grew up with was the projects where affordable housing was really segregated into these housing projects. Now, affordable housing is integrated into every project, which makes it much more inclusive, builds a community. And these are people who are just firemen, teachers, the person who works in the deli at your grocery store. These are all people in our community that need housing, and we're in a very expensive market. Um, so there is a range of affordable housing, and giving the density bonus, it allows developers and property owners to provide affordable housing, but they get a density bonus to cover the cost of the affordable housing. In general, this is going to make better use of our land and resources. It supports this sustainable urban growth and reducing our environmental impact by just doing suburban sprawl forever. So this also gives like economies of scale in construction and maintenance, just overall making it a more cost-effective option for not only the developers but also the residents. And we should see with time and getting more of these units on the market that the overall rent starts to come down.
Yeah. And less homeless, less burden on the welfare, so less taxes eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, we need
Um,
housing for everyone.
yes. Would you like to add anything?
Just that, thank you, Nora, for everything you do. You're winner of the Torch Award. That is just
Finally.
shows your
Fi-
commitment,
Finally.
finalist. I'm sure you're gonna win, but shows your commitment to like community involvement, the table of hope. Everything that you do is very inspiring. And as someone who's typically over volunteers, it's really appreciated to see someone doing what you do and taking the initiative yourself.
Thank you so much. And I know you're a very good leader, friend, and mentor, and I look up to you all the time. And I know your leadership role and volunteering with the Green Building Council and speaking at their conference. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
can you tell us what does the She Makes History Award means to you?
It's really incredibly meaningful to me because it celebrates, recognizes the achievements of women, everyone making significant impacts in their own field. And receiving this award is a profound honor for me. So it not only highlights my contributions to sustainable architecture, but also underscores the importance of female leadership in traditionally male dominated industries. I'm so glad to hear that the colleges now are mostly 50% men, 50% women in the major of architecture. But when I was in school, I was in my at my graduation, I was only one of two women. So
Wow.
times have, and all of my classes were dominated by men. It inspires me to keep pushing these boundaries, and a reminder that we all have the potential to create positive change. It fuels my passion for mentoring the next generation. And I love to encourage women to pursue their dreams fearlessly and make their own marks in history. So thank you so much for asking.
We are so happy to have you. It's been a blast, and I'm definitely sure you'll get come again on our show and speak more about like sustainable housing and other topic. I have a lot of topics to speak with you about.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
I have
uh,
some up my sleeve.
Okay, we'll discuss this, and please share, like, and comment on this video. Send us questions if you have questions for Liz or me. We're here to help you, and have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.